The wind howled, rain lashed against windows. On the remote island of Geoje, a typhoon raged. In a small house near the shore, a family huddled together, all except one. Mi-suk, their teenage daughter, was missing. The parents searched frantically. They called her name. But the storm drowned out their voices. Hours passed. The typhoon weakened, but Mi-suk was still gone. Police arrived. They combed the island. They found nothing. No trace of the girl. It was as if the storm had swallowed her whole. The island was in shock. How could a girl vanish without a trace? Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. The case went cold. The island tried to move on. But the mystery lingered. Like a ghost, it haunted the community. Whispers and rumors spread. Some said Mi-suk had run away. Others believed something more sinister had occurred. The truth remained elusive. A year passed. The island's wounds began to heal. But for Mi-suk's family, the pain was still fresh. They needed answers. They needed closure. Little did they know, their prayers were about to be answered. A detective was coming. A man who would stop at nothing to uncover the truth. Detective Hyun-soo stepped off the ferry. The salty air hit him. It brought back memories. He had left this island years ago. Now he was back. Back to solve a case that had baffled everyone. He was different now. Older, wiser. But the island hadn't changed. It still held its secrets close. Hyun-soo walked to the police station. His footsteps echoed on the quiet streets. People stared. They recognized him. The prodigal son had returned. But he wasn't here for a reunion. He was here for Mi-suk, to find out what happened on that stormy night, to bring closure to a grieving family. The station was small, cramped. Hyun-soo's colleagues greeted him warily. They knew his reputation. Brilliant, but troubled. He had left under a cloud. Now he was back, determined to prove himself. He asked for the case files. They were thin, few leads, little evidence. But Hyun-soo saw something others had missed. He pored over the documents. Late into the night, the typhoon, the search, the suspects. It all swirled in his mind. He knew he was missing something, a key piece of the puzzle. As dawn broke, Hyun-soo made a decision. He would retrace Mi-suk's steps, talk to everyone who knew her, uncover the island's secrets, no matter the cost.
Finally, someone who cared. That night, it was chaos. The fear, it was palpable, but something was off.
Hyun-soo sensed it. The old detective was hiding something.
Mi-suk was a bright girl, full of dreams. But there was bitterness too, towards the family, towards the island.
Hyun-soo probed deeper.
There were family tensions, arguments before the storm.
The village elder was next, a respected figure. He knew everyone's business, or so he claimed.
Mi-suk was a troubled child, whispers and rumors.
But when pressed, he couldn't provide details. Just vague accusations. Hyun-soo left frustrated. The truth was slipping through his fingers. Finally, Hyun-soo visited Suncheon House, an old mansion on the hill. Mi-suk had worked there part-time. The owner, a reclusive woman, was reluctant to talk, but Hyun-soo persisted.
Mi-suk's last day, there was a heated phone call. She was in tears, but I don't know what happened after.
Hyun-soo left with more questions than answers. As Hyun-soo delved deeper, something changed. This wasn't just another case. He felt a connection to Mi-suk. Perhaps it was her age, so young, so full of potential. It reminded him of his own daughter, the one he had left behind. The guilt gnawed at him. He couldn't save his family, but maybe he could save Mi-suk's. He visited Mi-suk's room, untouched since that night. Photos on the wall, a half-finished homework assignment, a diary. Hyun-soo hesitated. This was private. But he had to know. He opened it. Mi-suk's words leapt off the page. Her hopes, her fears, her secrets. Hyun-soo felt like he knew her, like she was speaking to him directly. The diary revealed a different Mi-suk, not the troubled child the villagers described, but a girl struggling with expectations, with the weight of family tradition, with dreams that didn't fit the island's narrow confines. Hyun-soo understood. He had felt the same way once. It's why he had left. But Mi-suk couldn't leave. Or could she? Hyun-soo couldn't sleep that night. Mi-suk's words haunted him. He felt responsible now, not just to solve the case, but to understand her, to give her a voice. He made a promise, to Mi-suk, to himself. He would uncover the truth, no matter where it led, no matter who it implicated. Mi-suk deserved that much. Armed with new insights, Hyun-soo changed tactics. He revisited his suspects. This time, he pushed harder. Why? S1, I admit it, I overlooked evidence. A footprint, a torn piece of cloth.
Pressure from above. Someone wanted the case closed quickly.
But who and why?
We argued that night about Mi-suk's future, about her secret boyfriend. I threatened to tell her parents. I didn't mean for her to run away.
Was this why Mi-suk disappeared? To protect her love? Or was there more to the story?
I spread rumors to protect the island's reputation. But I saw her that night, running towards Suncheon House, in the middle of the storm.
Hyunsu's mind raced. All paths led to Suncheon House. But why? What secrets did the old mansion hold? He knew he was close. The truth was within reach. But as he prepared to confront the reclusive owner, a warning came. An anonymous call.
Leave it alone, for your own good.
But Hyunsu couldn't stop now. He was too close, too invested. He had to know. Suncheon House loomed before him, dark, imposing. Hyunsu approached cautiously. The door creaked open before he could knock. The owner stood there, expectant, as if she had been waiting for him. She invited him in. Her calm demeanor unnerved him. She knew why he was here. Inside, the house was a time capsule. Antiques everywhere. Photos of a bygone era. And there, on the mantel, a familiar face. Mi-suk, but younger, much younger. Hyunsu's heart raced. The owner saw his confusion. She smiled sadly.
It's time you knew the truth.
And so, she began her tale. A story of love, of betrayal, of a child born in secret. Mi-suk wasn't who everyone thought she was. She was the owner's granddaughter, given up for adoption, to protect the family's reputation. But Mi-suk had discovered the truth. On that stormy night, she had come to confront her real family, to demand answers. Hyunsu listened, stunned. The pieces fell into place. The secrecy, the pressure to close the case, the village's whispers. But one question remained. Where was Mi-suk now? The owner's eyes filled with tears. She pointed to a door. Hyunsu's hand trembled as he reached for the handle. He wasn't prepared for what he would find.
That night, I confronted them. I made a choice to stay, to protect my birth family, to start anew. It wasn't easy, but it was my decision. The door swung open. Hyunsu gasped. There, sitting by a window, was a young woman. She turned. Her eyes widened in recognition. It was Mi-suk, alive, safe, but different, older, wiser. The years of hiding had taken their toll. But there was a peace in her eyes that hadn't been there before. It's time to face the world. Hyunsu listened, his emotions in turmoil, relief, anger, understanding. He had solved the case, but at what cost? The truth was out now. It couldn't be hidden any longer. Mi-suk's adoptive family needed to know. The island needed to know. Hyunsu knew the revelations would shake the community to its core, but it was necessary. For healing, for closure, for justice.
As they left Suncheon House, Hyunsu felt a weight lift. He had kept his promise. To Mi-suk, to himself, the case was solved. But more than that, he had helped right a wrong, given voice to the voiceless. As they walked towards an uncertain future, Hyunsu knew one thing. This case had changed him. Forever. And as the island's secrets unraveled in the days to come, he would be there. To help. To heal. To ensure that truth, no matter how painful, would always come to light.